In this video, we'll discuss some of the resources which will help you in clearing the exam and which will provide you a deep guidance on how the AWS Solution Architect works. Below, there is a list of resources that has been published and where you can go and you can have a deep knowledge on AWS resources. So these training courses or other equivalent methodologies will assist you in exam preparation. So the first one is architecting on AWS. So if you can go to this link aws.amazon.com/training/architect, you will get a good knowledge of um, architect level information. And the second is in-depth knowledge on or training in at least one high-level programming language. So the programming language will help you in understanding this on scripts, and you can even do automation in AWS if you have some programming experience. Also, you can go through the AWS Cloud Computing white papers. The link is aws.amazon.com/white papers. So there you will find some white papers published by and they will guide you to some deep concepts of AWS. Overview of Amazon Web Services, security processes, AWS risk and compliance white paper. So that is also available. If you search on Google, you'll get all these details. The storage options in the cloud, you can just go and search for storage options. You'll get some information like S3, Glacier, all these things will be there. So you can have a good knowledge on those things. Architecting for AWS cloud best practices, that is also you can just check on Google and get this information. Experience deploying hybrid system with on-premises and AWS components, and a use of AWS Architecture Center website told you at aws.amazon.com/architecture. That is the great that is a great link to learn about the architectural things of AWS. Apart from this, you can just go to YouTube. You can search for AWS videos. There's a even a channel from AWS that will provide all the troubleshooting tips and the knowledge about various services of AWS. Even there's a channel AWS Summit. So whatever the conferences, summits that are happening from AWS side, you'll get information on those as well. So you can just go to Google, YouTube and search those videos, and you will get a deep, in-depth knowledge of the AWS services. So the list below this table will tell you the domain and what is the percentage of questions are that will come from that particular domain. So if we see the designing highly available, cost efficient, fault tolerant, and scalable system. So if we focus on this domain, we will be able to cover 60% questions in the examination. So that's a very huge amount of question from this particular domain, and obviously it's a very the AWS is all about highly scalable and fault tolerant system, highly available as well. So this is obvious that most of the questions will be coming from this particular domain. Now the second domain is implementation and deployment. So that is also holding a share of 10% questions. So you can get some 10 questions on that as well. 10% questions on that as well. Now data security. So data security, when it comes, then they may ask you about NACL, the network ACL, and some port configuration on security groups. So all these things they can ask you from data security point of view. Another thing is troubleshooting. So they may give you some scenario that this is the case, and how, what is the issue, and how you are going to resolve it. So that can also come as a part of question. I would just give some example on that. Like you have created a EC2 Windows instance. So that instance is launched, it has passed all the tests, but you're not able to connect to that instance from your machine. So what can be the possible reason we are not able to connect to that machine? So here the answer would be revolving around the security groups. So you have to check whether you have allowed your system IP in the inbound connection of the security group or not. So if you have not allowed, you have to allow it. Only then you will be able to access the server, and you have to allow the RDP port 3389 in Windows Server case. So some sort of this type of questions may come in troubleshooting part. That's all. Now let's discuss about the response limits. So the examiner selects from four or more response options the one or multiple options that best complete the statement or answer the question. Distractors or wrong answers are response options that examines with incomplete knowledge or skill would probably choose, and are generally plausible responses that fit into the content area defined by the test objective. Test item formats used in the examination center are multiple choice, multiple response, sample directions. So in multiple choice, examinee select one option that best answers the question or completes the statement. The option can be embedded in a graphic where the examinee points and checks on the selection choice to complete the test item. Another one is multiple choice. Examinee selects more than one option that best answers the question or completes a statement. And the third one, sample directions, means like examinee reads the statement or question, and from the response option selects only the options that represent the most correct or best answers given the information. So thank